This video is to go over homework 3D lesson 3.14. Problem number 4. Find the lateral and total surface areas for the solids described. Part A. Right cylinder, radius 7 feet and height is 12. So as we learned, the right cylinder can be opened up and we'll have two circle and one long rectangle. That height will be exactly the same as that height, but the problem is the base. How can we find the base of the triangle? It's easy to find the area of circle because it's you take the radius and square it and multiply by pi, so that's pi r squared, and we have two of them, so we have to have two of them. And then I want you to understand that the base of the opened rectangle is exactly the same as, the length of the base of the rectangle is exactly the same as the circumference of the circle, because if you roll that up, then that's going to perfectly match. So we can find that the circumference of small circle by take the radius, double it, and multiply by pi. So that's going to be the circumference of that. So that's exactly the same as the base of it. Once you find that, you multiply that base times 12. That's going to be the area of that circle, and then find the area of two circles and find out. That's part A. Part B. That's the right cone, right cylinder, or actually I'm going to skip B because B is pretty much the same as A. Let's look at C. Right cone, diameter of 12, diameter is 12 centimeter, slant height is 13 centimeter. We just found out that the lateral area of cone is, we can find out pi times r times slant height, or circumference of the base circle times slant height over 2. Just simply because, let's say we have, if we open up the cone, we'll have partial circle, right? And that the edge of the partial circle is exactly the same as the circumference of small circle. So in class we just found out that the formula here would work. So we already know the radius and the slant height, and multiply by pi, and you get the answer. Problem number 5. You can make two different cylinders by taping together opposite edges of a standard 8.5 inch by 11 inch sheet of paper. You tape together either the two short edge or two long edges. For each cylinder, find the radius, height, lateral surface area, and total surface area. So take any copy paper, and if you attach the short side, then you'll have little fat, short cylinder. If you attach the long side, if you roll up the long side, then you'll have little skinny long cylinder. What will be the radius of that? What will be that? Well, we know the height, because if you do that on the back, the short side, the height should be 8.5. And once you find that, what will be the circle? So we know that here's another hint. We know that the circumference of this circle for the short one should be 11, because you're right 11 inches, because we're using 8 by 5 inches and 11 5-inch papers. And once you find the circumference, you can go backwards in order to find the radius. So that's going to be pi times 2 times pi times r equals 11 inches. And if you solve this for r, just like we did algebra 1, then we should be able to find the radius. Once we find the radius, we can find the everything, lateral surface areas and everything. Problem number 6. A cone has base radius 15 and 15 centimeter, and the height is 20. Oops. Height is 20. Just like that. And what's the height and the same lateral surface area as cone? That's okay. So you have another cylinder with the same radius, same height. That's centimeter, by the way. Just like that. And the question is, what's the radius of the cylinder? Oops, so I did something wrong. Well, same height and same lateral surface area. So we don't know what the 15 is. But the lateral surface area of this cone equals lateral surface area of cylinder. And so in order to find that, find the lateral surface area of the cone first. And in order to find the lateral surface area of a cylinder, we need a radius times yeah, you gotta find that. You gotta open that up and unroll it. So you have two circles and one rectangle, and the base of the rectangle is the same as the circumference of base circle, and the height is 20. So yeah, I don't want to give out too much hints, but kind of do backwards and so on and so forth. Sorry. And okay, so you have 2 pi r squared and then you have one rectangle. That should be equal to lateral surface area of a cone. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to give too many hints. So, problem number 7. A cylinder has base radius 10 centimeter and height 20 centimeter. A cone has a base congruent to that of the cylinder and the same lateral surface area as the cylinder. What's the height of the cone? So this problem is pretty much the same as problem number 6, well, idea-wise. So use that idea. Number 8. What's wrong here? Tony and Sasha were making a problem so they could practice finding surface area. They made up one problem that asked for the lateral surface area of a cone with the radius 13 centimeter and slant height 5 centimeter. A. Sasha said, "Hey, wait a minute. This cone is impossible. Draw a picture to show why." Tony said, "You're right, but I think we can have a cone with radius 13 centimeter and height 5 centimeter. Find the slant height of the cone. Then find its lateral surface area." What does this exercise tell you about how the slant height and the radius of a cone are related? So find a pattern and find out what's wrong here. There's something wrong here. Number 9. What's the lateral surface area of an ice cream cone with the diameter 3 inches? Height is 4 inches. Oh, this is easy one. Oh, that's terrible, but you know what I'm doing. So with a lateral surface area, lateral means that you don't need lateral surface area doesn't include the area of the cone, so be careful.